This is the Falcon MG103N, which is a child's acoustic guitar made by a company called JHS. The body is a curved tube. This is to provide ergonomic comfort. So we see here, this part is designed to rest easily over a leg, and this part is so that the user can comfortably get their arm over the body. You'll also notice that the body is quite thin, which allows small children, who this product is aimed at, to be able to get it over their arm comfortably without any discomfort. Something else you'll notice about the shape of the body is the bottom is quite wide. This is to help give the guitar a nice deep tone when it's played. The neck of the guitar is a curved tube. Again, this provides ergonomic comfort. It means that the user can get their hand around the guitar comfortably and play the chords. You'll also notice that from one end of the neck to this end is thinner here and this end is thicker. This is because at this end is where chords are commonly played, and so the user is using their whole hand to grab hold of the neck. Whereas up here, more singular notes are more commonly played, so the user is holding the guitar neck between maybe one or two forefingers and their thumb. The guitar has nylon strings. This gives it a nice mellow sound, but it's also very soft on the user's fingertips. This is because when you start out to play guitar, your fingers are quite vulnerable to harder strings made of steel, and they'll begin to hurt after just a few minutes of playing. So by using nylon strings, it's a lot softer on the user's fingers. This is good for this guitar in particular, because it's aimed at children, and so they're probably just starting out to play guitar, which means their fingers won't be hardened to be able to use steel strings comfortably. The tuning pegs are this part here. As they are turned, this spiral here turns this cog, which is connected to this roller. This tightens or loosens the string. This enables the guitar to be tuned to the correct pitch, and is also how the strings are attached to the guitar. As they go, the string will go through this hole here, and then will be wound around the nylon roller several times, just to allow it to be fixed to the guitar in a way that it won't come off, but will also be able to be removed easily. The tuning pegs themselves are made from plastic called urea formaldehyde, which is very strong, which is good because, as you'll see on this guitar, the tuning pegs stick out, leaving them quite vulnerable if they're knocked against a surface, say the guitar falls over or something. And if they're made of a soft plastic, then they'd be at risk of breaking. However, because they're made of a nice hard plastic, this is less likely to happen. The nut is this white part here, and it has small notches in which the strings sit into. This stops them from moving from side to side. This is good because it keeps the strings in place and means that they won't move, which makes it a lot easier to play the guitar. The bridge also, although they're less visible, has similar notches which again just prevent strings moving from side to side for the very same reason. The frets are a small raised yet smooth piece of metal which distinguish each semitone on the guitar. Not only do they help point out to the user which semitone is played in which position, but they also make the semitone themselves more distinctive, as if the guitar didn't have frets, then playing here would produce a slightly different tone to playing here. However, because it does have frets, this doesn't happen, so you know that whenever you put your finger in this area, you'll always play the correct tone, and you don't need to worry about where exactly you're putting your finger. The guitar has some aesthetically pleasing elements, such as this black rim around the edge, which just gives it a more professional, high-class looking finish, and also this painted pattern around the edge of the sound hole. These both just help to improve the overall look of the guitar. Something we'll notice about the guitar is that the body is made from very thin wood. This is because as the strings are played, the sound waves go into this sound hole here, reverberate around inside the box that forms the body, and then come back out the sound hole, amplified at a higher volume. If the wood was not this thin, then this wouldn't be able to happen, and so the tone would be very muted. The product is also made from tone woods, which basically allow these vibrations to happen easier, which makes them common among musical instruments, so not just guitars but also violins and double basses, things like that. The manufacturer will use jigs to drill this hole, the sound hole here, and also the smaller holes up here for the screws for the tuning pegs and the tuning peg rollers themselves. This just basically ensures that every time the holes are drilled, they're always going to be in the right place and the right distance apart, which not only speeds up the manufacturing process but makes it more efficient, in the sense that things are a lot less likely to go wrong and less materials and time is going to be wasted. Something else which you'll notice on the edge of the fretboard here is there are certain white dots. These mark off specific, more commonly used frets, which is good for a first time user, as it helps to highlight which ones are which. As if they're not experienced at playing guitar, then it'll be harder for them to tell from just looking. So there is one dot at the 5th fret, one at the 7th, one at the 9th, and one at the 12th. That's it, and thank you for listening.